Hey, what's going on, Who Dat Nation? It is yours truly, TJ Jones, the host of the State of the Saints podcast. Thank you so much for checking out the State of the Saints podcast, where we talk New Orleans Saints. Thank you so much for spending your Friday afternoon. If you just so happen to be watching this on a Friday, thank you so much for spending it with yours truly. But we got some things we need to discuss. A lot of things going on, a lot of things we can be talking about, but let's just talk about Alvin Kamara. Alvin Kamara, as you all know, there was a report that came out by NBC Sports that says that Alvin Kamara and the New Orleans Saints could be bracing themselves for a possible 6-game suspension. And that means that Alvin Kamara will miss at least 6 games of the regular season. And I don't need to tell you, Who Dat Nation. I don't need to tell you, I don't need to be the smartest man in the world to tell you that Alvin Kamara is one of the most important offensive weapons on the New Orleans Saints team. Now, I know that we are beating on our chest and we're confident, right? We're confident because we see all of this talent coming through those doors on Airline Highway, and that's cool. But Alvin Kamara is the straw that stirs the drink. Last year, you have to say that he was the Saints offense, okay? If you think about all of the trash that they had on the field, yes, I'm calling it trash because that's what it was and that's what it played like. Not calling these individuals trash. I'm just talking about what was displayed on the field, all right? What was displayed on the field, what was executed was trash, all right? Alvin Kamara was the cologne, the sweet aroma in the air versus what was going on the field opposite of him. Alvin Kamara is important to the New Orleans Saints, and missing those 6 games would be crucial for the New Orleans Saints. It is imperative. It is absolutely imperative that the New Orleans Saints have themselves a backup plan, a contingency plan, some waiting in the wings. Hell, maybe something that they need to try to do right now, because Alvin Kamara's production will be greatly missed. All right. This is not one of those things where you're having to wait and see and wait around and hope and wish and pray that things go your way. No, this situation right here can really speak volumes about how the Dennis Allen coaching career for the New Orleans Saints is going to go, because you cannot wait to replace a guy with this type of production. You're not going to get a guy that is going to give you the same type of production as Alvin Kamara, but you need to be able to bring someone in that can pick up the slack, and you can put them alongside guys like Ingram and maybe another running back that's already on the roster in order for them to make up the production that Alvin Kamara is going to be taking with him if he serves a 6-game suspension. Now, based on what I've seen in this offseason, based on what I've seen, how aggressive this New Orleans Saints team has been, it would not surprise me at all. Based on what I have been hearing from this organization, it would not surprise me if the Cleveland Browns and the New Orleans Saints work out a trade to bring in Kareem Hunt if Alvin Kamara misses 6 games. It will not surprise me at all. And I don't feel bad about saying that. I don't feel like I'm really just throwing it out there with a hot take, because have you ever just thought in your wildest dreams that Jarvis Landry would be playing for the Saints? I mean, when he was out there in free agency? No. In your wildest dreams, did you ever imagine that Tyrann Mathieu would be playing for the Saints? No. In your wildest dreams, did you think that the New Orleans Saints would be aggressive enough to move up to acquire a guy that everybody in the Who That Nation felt that they needed to get in Chris Olave? No. But the New Orleans Saints have done that. So, based on what I've seen from this new regime, this new Orleans Saints attitude, it would not surprise me that they would aggressively try to trade for Kareem Hunt if Alvin Kamara is missing those many games. Look, I think people tend to forget about how special Kareem Hunt actually is. I mean, he's in the backfield with Nick Chubb, who is special in his own right. But once upon a time, when he was playing for the Kansas City Chiefs, he was just as much of a game changer as Alvin Kamara. In fact, in 2017, when both of these guys came into the league, the first few weeks of the season, everybody and their mama thought that Kareem Hunt would end up being Offensive Rookie of the Year until Alvin Kamara started to take the league by storm, and we all seen how special he was. So I think that people tend to forget about Kareem Hunt because of the situation that happened. He was released by the Kansas City Chiefs, and he went to the Cleveland Browns, a team that is not really offensively innovative like Andy Reid's Kansas City Chiefs. So if you put a guy like Kareem Hunt with the New Orleans Saints, with the offense that the Saints run under Pete Carmichael, a guy who is a disciple of a Sean Payton type offense, trust and believe you're going to see something magical come out of Kareem Hunt. And some people might say, man, how can we afford Kareem Hunt? Kareem Hunt could be doing the same thing that Jarvis Landry is doing. He can be on a prove-it deal. It's not to say that you need to bring this guy in, you know what I'm saying, and sign him to a long-term deal. And I think that's what most Saints fans may think. You don't have to do that. This is a guy that has something to prove. Behind Nick Chubb, he isn't as dynamic and as explosive, and he's out of sight, out of mind. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody's really looking at him like they did when he was in Kansas City. When he was in Kansas City, if he would have stayed there, trust and believe, he would have been one of the top paid running backs. If he stayed healthy, he would have been one of the top paid running backs in all of the National Football League. But of course, all that stuff happens. He's behind Nick Chubb, and he's not able to exercise his gifts as much. So what better way to come to an organization that will be able to exercise all of your gifts? You're in the final year of your rookie deal, and you can go out there and sell yourself to the highest bidder if necessary. So I think that this is a win-win situation. Now, what should the Saints be willing to give up for a guy like Kareem Hunt? Some people say a third-round pick. Some people say something like a second-round pick. No, sir. Okay? If the Saints can get Kareem Hunt for a fifth-round pick, that would be great. Well, TJ, Kareem Hunt, I mean, ain't nobody going to get rid of Kareem Hunt for no fifth-round pick. Well, what about guys like Stephon Gilmore? Stephon Gilmore, 2 years before he was traded by the New England Patriots, he was the defensive player of the year, right? He was the best cornerback in all of football, according to his peers and the Associated Press. And he was traded for a sixth-round pick. You got a guy like Robert Woods. And yes, Robert Woods is coming off ACL injury, but Robert Woods is a great number two, possibly a number one if your number one is down wide receiver. He goes to the Tennessee Titans for a fifth-round pick, all right? I mean, so I can give you several scenarios where guys that have given a lot of production go to teams for fifth-round picks. A fifth-round pick would be suffice for Kareem Hunt. First off, you're not going to pay the guy, right? You know what I'm saying? So you might as well go ahead and get some capital out the thing. I mean, we already know, we are hearing these stories about they're possibly trying to shop this guy around. So why not be able to get some type of draft capital for it? Of course, I mean, you did all this for Deshaun Watson and you lost all of your top picks for the next couple of years. So you might as well start to try to bring some guys in, you know, try to add some draft picks if you can actually trade some guys away. A fifth-round pick would be suffice. Second-round pick, no. Third round, it all depends, okay? I mean, if it's like a supplemental pick or something like that and you're not going to miss it, then I wouldn't be mad at it. I mean, you did the same thing with Bradley Roby. But Kareem Hunt is that one guy out there that will replace the type of production that Alvin Kamara will bring. I don't feel bad about saying that. If Kareem Hunt is not on the market, there's not a guy out there that I feel like going to give you that same similar type of production. Now you can try to, get a guy, like I mentioned on the last show, Kenyon Drake or something like that. A guy that's going to give you some level of production, a guy that can make people miss, a guy that can go yard every now and then. But Kareem Hunt is a guy that can do something special with the football. I mean, just as much as Alvin Kamara can. That would be the one guy that is out there right now that the Saints could aggressively try to pursue, that will come in and give you instant results right away and have you okay until Alvin Kamara gets back. Well, what about when they both get back? Well, that's a good problem to have, Who Dat Nation. Wouldn't you think? If you have Kareem Hunt and Alvin Kamara along with Mark Ingram on the same team, well, that's what the offense is all about. That's what offensive innovation is all about. It's up to the organization to try to make that thing work, but it's a hell of a problem to have, okay? Because we know that the Saints, they had all these injuries last year, and the next man up mentality, these guys did as well as they could possibly do. But, okay, those guys were not, making anybody miss any sleep at night. All right, so that's what I feel about it. That's what I think. I want to hear from you. I'm going to go ahead and read some of your questions and your comments. Corey says, "Who that TJ best show on tube?" I appreciate that, man. Thank you. I appreciate that love, man. I knew this was coming. Happy Friday, TJ Jones. We need a running back immediately. And man, look, everybody knew this was coming. Everybody knew it was coming. It was always a matter of when and how many games. We knew this dude was going to get suspended. I mean, you had to be boo-boo the fool to think that they were just going to take this name line down. There's a trial that's coming up in August. There's some video evidence of him stomping the dude out and walking him dry, along with some more comrades of his. So it was going to happen. It's inevitable. It's inevitable that this is going to happen. It's a matter of how the Saints are going to navigate this. So it's best for the suspension to happen at the beginning of the season. When the season starts, it's probably best for it to happen at the beginning of the season. That way, you can go ahead and get it over with. And Alvin Kamara can be back towards the late, towards the end of the season, and where we really would need him the most. And of course, he missed 6 games. He come back. That's 6 weeks. He's fresh. The AK situation really got local Philly radio dudes up here talking about the Saints trade, netting them a top 5 pick in the 23 draft. Laughing my behind off. Well, look, Philly is going to Philly, and what I mean by that is Philadelphia news people are the kings of over exaggeration. All right. Just as much as their fans are. I mean, it's no shock, man. Philadelphia fans are nuts. Absolutely crazy. Like the littlest thing set them off. I mean, this is a fan base that boos Santa Claus, for God's sakes. So we know that these guys really don't think, rational at all. Okay. If you think that the New Orleans Saints are going to be a top 5 pick because Alvin Kamara is out, you're sadly mistaken. Okay. We know that the New Orleans Saints offensively have missed Alvin Kamara a few games. And here's something that the Philadelphia Eagles fans may not know, and the Philadelphia Eagles fan base may not know, which wouldn't surprise me at all because they're not Saints fans. The Saints have won more games without Alvin Kamara than they have. Believe it or not. Believe it or not. When Alvin Kamara has been out the lineup, the Saints have won more games. Okay, so that means that because Alvin Kamara has come in, I mean, even though Alvin Kamara is gone, somebody has come in and able to pick up the slack. So maybe somebody needs to tell them that before they jump to conclusions and just think that all of a sudden, like, oh yeah, we're gonna get a top 5 pick. And on top of that, the Saints still on paper. I gotta say on paper, but if you're looking at last year, if you're looking at the statistics from last year, they still have a top 5 defense, and they just added offensive firepower and weaponry to the offense. So I don't know what they smoking out there. Maybe they think that they're going to get a top 5 pick because maybe Jalen Hurts is not going to play very well, or their offense is not going to be all they cracked up to be, even though they acquired A.J. Brown and they got Devontae Smith and all those other guys out there. Maybe they feel like, maybe they'll get a top 5 pick there. I don't know, because they ain't getting it from New Orleans Saints, because I don't see that. I do not see the Saints having the Philadelphia Eagles having a top 5 pick because the Saints had a bad season. So I just think that that's just over exaggeration, shock value, which a lot of these mainstream media radio outlets try to do, to try to bring attention on themselves and get people to call in so they can sound all loud and crazy and speak their piece, and also try to influence the masses like most media people try to do. People really forget.
Sorry, something's not right. Wait a few minutes.
I know something not right, Google Mini. If the Philadelphia Eagles think for some apparent reason that they're going to be picking the top 5 because of the Saints, you're absolutely right, Google Mini. People really forget how Hartley and Noomis constantly handled the cap and salary construction. Yeah, I mean, it's not the fact that they don't know. It's just the fact that they don't care, Eugene. Look, nobody is going to care about the Saints like Saints fans do. And I just think that that's something that we need to come to grips with. It's just what it is, man. I think that we beat the drums and we bang on the doors as loud as we can because we want our team in the room. But people just don't care about the Saints like that. I mean, I'm going to just let y'all know. The national media feels the New Orleans Saints will be nothing because they don't have Drew Brees anymore. And they seem like last year, right? Nobody cares. Like, nobody cares what happened to the New Orleans Saints. Nobody cares that the Saints were 9-8 because of injury. Nobody cares that the Saints were 9-8 because they lost their starting quarterback and had 57 variations of a starting lineup. They're not going to say that. They're not going to say that because the Saints are not one of those teams that get excuses from the mainstream media. The quicker we understand that, the better. If any other team, some of these top-notch New York Giants, Philadelphia Eagles, Dallas Cowboys, one of these teams right here that went through the same situation as the Saints, trust and believe mainstream would be giving these guys the benefit of the doubt. But the Saints historically are known as losers. And I keep telling people, when it comes to the NFL, it is about nostalgia. They will elevate teams that have had a historical run at relevance, no matter if it was 50 years ago, 60 years ago, 70 years ago, but even if they're losing right now, because they have been winning back in the day, they have established a larger fan base. So they give those people, those teams, those players the benefit of the doubt. The Saints historically, what's the first thing they start talking about in mainstream media? They talk about how the Saints used to lose a lot in the 80s, and they were with the paper bags and this and that and the third. Even though in reality, the Saints over the last almost 20 years have been one of the top teams in the National Football League. But of course, they're not going to tell you that because historically, the Saints are known as losers. So to keep on brand and to keep nostalgia running, we got to make sure that this losing franchise, known as the New Orleans Saints, the narrative is that they're still losers, right? No matter who they bring in, they're still going to be losers. Tyrann Mathieu go to the Dallas Cowboys, they win the Super Bowl. Tyrann Mathieu goes to the Saints, he's just another guy. He's an all-pro, yeah, but he's just another guy. Jarvis Landry goes to somebody like the Philadelphia Eagles. The Philadelphia Eagles win in the NFC East. He goes to the New Orleans Saints. I don't know what they're going to do with him. Live with it, folks. Live with it. This is the reality that we're in. And that's the reason why you have shows like mine and other Saints podcasters and radio stations out there in New Orleans that give you the real about the New Orleans Saints, because we live, unfortunately, in a different universe than most people because they don't pay attention to the team. It's just reality, folks. It's no use for us getting upset and frustrated and all that kind of stuff about what the media does, because it's just a waste of time. No matter how many games the Saints win, no matter how many playoff appearances, no matter how many great players they have, they're going to continue to get snubbed. They're going to continue to put those guys by the wayside. They're going to continue to elevate guys that may not be as good as some of the players that are on this team, but because they play in a big market, it matters most. It is going to happen over and over again, and there's nothing we can do about it. Well, there's something they can do about it. They can constantly win, but of course, probably still not going to help. So that's just something that we're going to have to live with, folks. I'm sorry, but that's just the way it is. Ryan says, I doubt he is going to take a prove-it deal. I think the Saints offering guys prove-it deals is why all these other players keep passing on us and signing elsewhere. Ryan, that is absolutely, in my opinion, I got to say in my opinion, that is absolutely, positively false. And I'll tell you why, okay? I respect your opinion, Ryan. Great take, but let me tell you why. First off, with the whole prove-it deal, I doubt if he's going to take a prove-it deal. Here's the reality, bro. He is on he has a contract with the Cleveland Browns. Okay. So if the Saints were to trade for Kareem Hunt, that contract now becomes the Saints become a sole owner of that contract. So that means the money that he was going to get paid by Cleveland now goes to the New Orleans Saints, and they are now responsible for paying him. So if Kareem Hunt does not get a contract with the Cleveland Browns, guess what? He's still on the final year of his deal with the Cleveland Browns. So if he was to get traded, his contract belongs to the New Orleans Saints. So guess what? He has to report to the New Orleans Saints, or he has to sit out and lose a lot of money. That's number one. Number two, guys coming to the New Orleans Saints or not coming to New Orleans Saints had absolutely nothing to do with prove-it deals. It had everything to do with the quarterback situation. Look, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but towards the end of Drew Brees' career, it was said that he cannot throw the ball past 20 yards. He cannot throw the ball past 20 yards. And I think offensively, if you're a player that's interested in coming to the team, yes, you understand Drew Brees' greatness, but the question is, can he get the ball to me? Can he get the ball down the field to me? You know what I'm saying? The way that, you know what I'm saying, I need the ball to be given. Also, a lot of teams were looking at the fact that the Saints making it to the playoffs, unfortunately, when they get to the playoffs, they lose. All right. You know what I'm saying? And guys now, they want to play with guys that are appealing to them. They want to go to locations that are appealing to them. No disrespect to New Orleans, that's my hometown, but who would you rather play for? Would you rather play in New Orleans, or would you like to play in Los Angeles, where you can rub elbows in Hollywood, where you can elevate your brand, where you can possibly land somewhere, you know, and be an actor or something like that, or open up some type of business, you know what I'm saying, where people can go to? Would you want to stay in Vegas when something is always going on? Would you want to stay in Miami where you can be on the beach and every day is beautiful? You can wake up to the waters and the waves and all that kind of stuff there. All of those things are appealing. It has absolutely nothing to do with the New Orleans Saints. Now, me personally, if Jameis Winston can come out here and ball out, I guarantee you're probably going to see more free agents come to the New Orleans Saints. Jarvis Landry said it. Jarvis Landry said Jameis is one of the main reasons why he ended up in New Orleans, because of his arm talent. So if Jameis Winston can go out there and do what a lot of us hope that he can do, and he balls the heck out, guess what? It's going to make the New Orleans Saints a way more popular and attractive destination, because guys are going to feel like they can actually win it all. You know, they feel like they probably can win some games, but based on history showed you that the Saints are going to be good. They're going to win 12, 13 games, but when it's time for the playoffs, they're going to lose. And that's in guys' minds. That's in guys' minds. So I don't think it had anything to do with no prove-it deals. I don't. Guys want to win. That's what they want. They care about money, of course, but guys want to be accommodated and compensated, right? They want to be accommodated when it comes to winning, and they want to be compensated. So if they can get the best of both worlds, trust and believe that's going to happen. Alvin Kamara is so dumb, he just can't stay out of trouble. If I was the head coach, he would have more strike, and I would trade him if get in a mess one more time. Man, Paul, knock it off, man. Pump your brakes, man. Pump your brakes, all right? Look, this man does not need to be traded. Guys get in trouble all the time, okay? It happens, okay? I don't think that this is a reflection of who he is as a person. I mean, we all know how it is sometimes, man. I mean, I'm pretty sure dude was probably out having a good time, probably had some drinks. It was late. You know what I'm saying? He was coming in early in the morning. Logic wasn't there. And sometimes you can make bad decisions. I'm not going to say that Alvin Kamara deserves to be traded, okay? We don't need to get into that type of mind frame because here's reality, man. Yeah, like, what do we want? Just a whole bunch of quiet boys on the team? You know what I'm saying? I don't like, sometimes I don't understand like how some of us think. Like, we want guys shaking hands and kissing babies and stuff like that. And if they're not doing that, they're not a good player. They need to get traded. I don't like their personality. Who cares? Like, honestly, who cares? I don't care. Like, honestly, I don't look. I'm gonna just be real. I don't care about meeting nobody. I don't care about shaking nobody's hand. I don't care about meeting nobody in the grocery store. I really don't care, man. All I care about is dudes going out there and being productive and winning football games. In my eyes, man, these guys are just normal human beings, just like me, that have an extraordinary job. Okay. And guys make mistakes. I make mistakes. You make mistakes. I don't want anybody to define me based on a mistake, right? It was a mistake. That's not a reflection on who I am as a person. Yes, the dude most likely is going to get suspended for his actions, but to get traded, man, look, that if the Saints trade Alvin Kamara, that would be the biggest mistake in the history of this organization. It would be one of the biggest and most dumbest decisions that this organization has ever made. Okay, that would be absolutely asinine. And I'm sorry. I don't go that route, but that would be absolutely ridiculous if they trade this dude. I mean, no way. No freaking way. The Ravens and the Saints have very similar seasons last year injury-wise, yet the national media gives the Ravens more benefit of the doubt this season. Baltimore is also a small market, but better nostalgia. Yeah, I mean, they known for defense. They known for their hard-nosed, smash-mouth football. And also, man, the city of Baltimore not only known for the Ravens, but known for the coach, Johnny U. So, yes, there is a nostalgia aspect of it. And, of course, it just so happened that their quarterback was the league MVP a couple of years ago. So I can't knock that. But, Drew was good to great for about 10 or 11 games towards the end, pretty bad for the last handful. Look, I think that Drew Brees is a human being, okay? You get up there in age, it's the battle of attrition, okay? And when it came down to the postseason, he just, he really didn't have much left in the tank. And I just think that, I just think that if the Saints, if you look at 17, 18, 19, if this was 2010 Drew Brees, 2011, the Saints have a two or three Super Bowls. Seriously, they will have 2 or 3 Super Bowls because he was in his prime and he was putting up monster numbers. Like, it wasn't even close. Like, some of those playoff games, I think the Saints would have blew some of those teams out because they would have been able to take the top off the defense, and Drew Brees would have way more arm strength and arm talent than he had towards the twilight of his career. Games wouldn't even been close. And I think that because of Drew Brees' lack of arm strength and those close intermediate routes and everything was kind of close to the hip, it made games more closer than what they needed to be. Seriously, I think that was one of the main reasons why teams were able to hang on and get that upset win over the Saints because, it was a lot of nickel and diamond back in the days when Drew Brees was about to retire. So I think that had a lot to do with it. If you have a team now and everything comes together with Jameis, I feel like if the Saints go to the postseason, they're going to be blowing some teams the hell out. I mean, it might be like, when the Falcons, you know what I'm saying, made their playoff run, or when, you know what I'm saying, when the Carolina Panthers a couple years ago back in 2015 when they blew out I want to say the Cardinals in a NFC Championship game, it would be something like that. Because they have all the tools to be successful. They got all the talent that you need in order for you to get to where you need to be. If Jameis can put that all together, that's a wrap. Mocha, thank you very much for $10. Says by next year, everybody will forget about what AK did and move on to something else. Yeah, we are the prisoners of the moment. And I say this often on the show, we should never be prisoners of the moment. We should never allow loud noise to disrupt us and corrupt our mind frame. And we really have to think to ourselves, is this really something I need to care about like this? Okay, I understand that he's going to miss some time, and of course, it matters. But I'm not going to say, oh, because he made a decision in Las Vegas and, you know what I'm saying, it was a bad decision, oh, he's a terrible person. Let's get off that BS, please. Okay. I am sick and I am tired of individuals who say things, make mistakes, or probably don't say something that's relatable to your frame of mind, and all of a sudden they get labeled. Oh, you said this, therefore you're this. People have bad days. People get upset. Let's just say, for example, look, some of y'all know I was a store manager before I started to take on broadcasting full time. People used to come in the store after 3 o'clock, early in the morning. Some of them, you know what I'm saying, had, you know what I'm saying, bad days. I remember one time there was this guy came in the store, bad attitude, man, bad attitude. And at the end of the transaction, because I was ringing a guy up at the time, I said, man, I hope you have a good day. I said, man, I hope your day get better. And he kind of grumbled and went out the store. Came back the next day. He said, brother, I just want to apologize to you. He said, me and my wife, we was having a disagreement. He said, and it was affecting me. He said, and I took it out on you, and I apologize. Point is, I could have easily said, man, that dude a jerk. He came into the store the next day. I could have easily like, man, I ain't gonna help that dude, man. I know what type of day it was with him. But it turns out the dude was just having a bad day. Sometimes guys just make bad decisions. Sometimes guys may do something that we don't like, but it don't define who they are. And I'm sick of people doing this. I am sick of watching people look at people and they make a bad decision or they say something and all of a sudden like they get labeled. I'm sick of that. That is not the deciding factor about what and how you need to handle a person. Alvin Kamara in Las Vegas, and I'm not even saying this because he plays for the Saints. I'm serious. I'm not just saying this because I have an invested interest in Alvin Kamara being on the field. I'm saying this because guys make bad decisions all the time. And if you have not made a bad decision in your lifetime, stay tuned. I guarantee you there's going to be a time in your life, I don't care if it's 1 or 2 people, you're going to tick off and you're going to have to, it's going to require you having to apologize, saying these words. That's not who I am. And if you have not said those words yet, keep living. Okay. So I am not going to allow this situation to define who Alvin Kamara is. And I agree with Mocha, what he just said, because nobody is going to care later on. It's just not. TJ, worst trading all draft picks for Ricky Williams. Yeah, that would be up there. The trading of Alvin Kamara would be up there. That'll be the second worst. We will trade you from the Who Dat family before we trade AK. I already forgot what AK did. I mean, I think a lot of people don't know what he did. I think they just know about something happened in Las Vegas, but they don't know to what extent. Paul, you obviously down not watch Saint football with those Stephen A. Smith takes. Look, look, that trading Alvin Kamara is just it is not a good idea, Paul. I'm sorry, man. Everybody entitled to opinion, but that is not the move, man. Dallas traded Walker and turned the team into Super Bowl champs. No player is above being traded in my book. How about Le'Veon Bell? I'm not mad at that. I wouldn't be mad if the Saints try to bring in Le'Veon Bell. I'm not. I think the Saints have enough leadership in the locker room to keep this dude head on straight. And if he gets out of line, then get him up out of there. But I think that they have enough leadership in the locker room for Le'Veon to buy in. People really expect athletes to have a higher level of personal standards than politicians and even folks who watch over their kids. Well, look, I just think that there's a lot of handshaking and baby kissing people want from these athletes. I don't care. Like I told you, I said that once, I said it twice, I said it 3 times. I don't care about like meeting an athlete and shaking their hand and the experience that I have. First off, I don't really like meeting celebrities because every time I meet one, I have a bad experience. And I just like, man, I'd rather watch these people from afar and have my own little take on them. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got to meet them like that. But another thing about it is I just think that people, like you said, have this, they feel like these athletes have to have like this moral compass and, they supposed to be beyond, you know what I'm saying, anything petty and all that kind of stuff. We put these guys on pedestal and hold them to standards we don't even hold ourselves to. And I just feel like it's unfair. I just think that we look at these individuals as extraordinary individuals because they make a lot of money and they do something and they have skills that we don't have, right? But at the end of the day, they still human beings. They still have problems. They still probably have relationship problems, financial issues. You know what I'm saying? You got family members trying to get in your pockets. You got people, you know what I'm saying, that's supposed to be protecting your money. You know what I'm saying? You got to watch them. Then you got to make sure that your brand is on point. So there's a lot of things going on with these guys. And I don't think that we really just look at it that way because we put their lives up against ours, right? You know what I mean? Especially like if you're living paycheck to paycheck or, you know what I'm saying? Like things may not be going the way that you want to go. You're like, man, what they got to complain about? They rich. And sometimes, like I said, we just hold them to a different standard than we hold ourselves. But at the end of the day, they're human just as much as we are. They bleed just like us. And guess what? They have a shelf life and they, you know what I'm saying, they're not immortal. You know what I'm saying? In spite of the fact that when they play, we feel like they are. They are not. Okay. TJ, you're right. We all need to pump the brakes on the Super Bowl talk. Yeah, we have a potent roster on paper, but how many times have we had all starters playing together, hardly ever injured? Yeah. I tell people all the time, I don't care about what it looks like on paper. I need to see it. I need to see it. Like look, DA, I am in no way advocating that no one needs to be excited about what you're actually seeing. The aggression that the New Orleans Saints have shown this offseason is unbelievable. I love it. So you should be excited. But at the same time, I'm not going to be, I feel that black and gold going back to the Super Bowl. Hold on. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. You know what I'm saying? We might hit the second line music. You know what I'm saying? Playoff time or something like that. But pump your brakes. That's all I'm saying to me. I mean, I'm going to say I'm pumping my brakes. I can't speak for everybody else. I'm reserving my judgment. Okay. I need to see this thing play out. All right. Before I hit that boom, 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 boom. Before I hit that, I need to see it. I need to see it on the field. Right. But if it does work, I'll be one of the first people in there. I feel that black and gold going back to the Super Bowl. People act like AK been messing around with 66 different. Never mind. Yeah, man. Yeah, that would be something with it. What did he say? Why we got to replace 41? What's going on? Well, according to NBC Sports, there's a possibility that he may be suspended for 6 games. All right. And thank Eric for that. Yeah, thank you, Eric. Thank you for putting that in the chat so I don't have to repeat what I said earlier. Trent Richardson is broke right now because he didn't have his finances in order to trust too many of his friends and family members with his finances. Exactly. More money, more problems. Uncle Duke says, we haven't had a team like this. It looks good on paper, but if we can come out and perform, we can get a Super Bowl. I agree. But once again, we gotta go out there, Uncle. We gotta go out there, Unc. We gotta go out there. We gotta perform. You know, that's what it all comes down to. I'm excited. Like I'm fired up just as much as everybody else. But once again, I need to see this thing on paper. I mean, we all know about the battle of attrition. We know about, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, guys, you know, may end up getting hurt, knocking on wood when I say this. There are things that can possibly happen. And sometimes, you know, the chemistry may be an issue as well. Saints say win division title, TJ. I say it's possible. I say it's possible. But I do say this. It's every year you have a team that you think is going to be awful and they end up being good. And then you have a team that you think going to end up being good, end up being awful. Okay. And I just think that we are not taking into account teams like Carolina or Atlanta or even Tampa. Right. You know what I'm saying? Teams getting good and they're working on getting good just like the Saints are, you know, and I'm not going to just look at a team and be like, oh, well, they didn't do this. They ain't got this. They ain't got that. They ain't going to be good. I'm not saying that. Okay. There's always a team that comes in and you're like, man, how in the world are they good? Like, man, it frustrates you watching them. Like, man, they ain't even that good. Those words always come out every single year by a fan. For real. Like, it always comes out. You're like, man, they ain't even that good. You know, a team misses a field goal. They win by 1 point. You know what I'm saying? Somebody fumble a football. You know what I'm saying? Trip on a banana peel. Like, things happen. Okay, so it's all like it has not been a year that I have not watched football and I have not said those words. Man, they not even that good. There's not a year that went by that I didn't say those words. But look on the bright side. Let's see. AK is going to be healthy for the back end of the season. Good point. That's what I said, Mocha. That's what I said. I said, get it over with right now. That way, after week 6, he comes back week 7, he hitting the ground running. I can't believe we're in a league where assault is worse than murder. Well, I think they're both bad, if you ask me. I think they're both bad. I think the NFL is basically just reactive. They're not proactive. They always have been. You know, anything happen like, oh, I can't believe they did this. The NFL needs to do something. 100,000, 200,000, 1 million tweets. The NFL needs to do something. They get in the office, they shaking in their boots because they scared they about to lose some money. Then they come out there and act like they, you know, like they just so innovative and proactive and they changing things. They don't. Okay, they don't. But they're just reactive, man. Anything that happens, if it makes them look bad, they hurry up and try to do something about it. But if nobody says anything about it, they ain't doing nothing. They ain't doing nothing. Bucks in trouble with the Saints, even with Tampa's full roster. I think Tampa always in trouble with the Saints. Saints own the Bucks. That is true. I'm glad Bucks called game. Look, like for that, look, this is one of the main reasons why, you know what I'm saying, I respect Bucks goal game, and you know what I'm saying, and some of these other Buckles locker got like real like people that speak their real. You know what I'm saying? Like they are willing to accept things, right? Not delusional people. You know what I'm saying? Like some of these Falcon fans out here, like this clown that talked about how AJ Terrell owns Michael Thomas. Now, this dude, like, okay, he says that AJ Terrell owns Michael Thomas. Michael Thomas only played one full season. Well, he didn't play a full season. It was AJ Terrell's rookie year. That's the year when, you know, when Michael Thomas missed all the time when he first got the ankle injury. And this man came back on a bum ankle and went over 100 yards, doing this dude dirty. Now, the guy said AJ Terrell owns Michael Thomas. He had like like those Happy Father's Day little memes they have out there. He had AJ Terrell like holding a baby and they put the Michael Thomas face on the baby or whatever like that, whatever. But he says AJ Terrell owns Michael Thomas, but he said the rookie year don't count. Well, if the rookie year don't count, how can you say that AJ Terrell owes Michael Thomas because that was the only year Michael Thomas played. So how could he own him? Like, what, are you Nostradamus? Huh? Are you Miss Cleo? Are you calling me now for the free reading? I mean, honestly, how do you know that? So since he wanted to be petty, I ain't kind was petty back. And I had a little time on my hands. So I produced Michael Thomas lining up against AJ Terrell. And it's available right now on Twitter, on TJ Jones 8, if you want to follow me on Twitter. And there's a video of Michael Thomas working AJ Terrell. Now, and I feel bad because I like AJ Terrell. Look, I think he's a talented cornerback. I think he has a lot of promise. I think he is one of those guys that has a tendency of being a lockdown, shutdown corner. And I'm not going to be a hater because he played for the Falcons. Dude is really good. This dude made AJ Terrell take some shots because he tried to misinform the masses and he was delusional doing it. So, and then on top of that, he was trying to clout chase. So I had to get him, man. I had to get him. All I'm saying is, look, when people come out and they say things that are valid, and I can't dispute it, I just move past it. But when it's just so egregious, so ridiculous, and it actually can be proven, right? By just going out here, doing a little research, looking, you know what I'm saying, at a few videos or two, I'm going to say something about it. Because we all know that people do not do research on their own. They just take it and run with it, especially if it's in their best interest and the way that they feel something needs to go. So, but shouts out to all the people out there that's real about their teams, that know what their team limitations are, know, you know what I'm saying, what their team need to improve on, and accept it. And not just act like it don't exist. Like, you know, I don't know. Paul says, Mrs. Williams, not judging nobody. Why judge yourself when you keep screwing up? Bad choices affect you and other people from dumb choices we make in sports and life. Facts. Let's see. Not judging nobody. You judge yourself when you judge. What? Let me read this again. Mrs. Williams, not judging nobody. You judge yourself when you keep screwing up. Bad choices affect you. How does this dude keep screwing up? That's what I want to know, man. That's what I want to know. You know, like, am I missing something, Paul? Like, is there something else that happened with Alvin Kamara that we don't know about? This is the first time I ever really seen this dude actually get into any type of like issues. I mean, of course, you know, they had like some issues back when he was at Alabama and stuff like that, but you know, it wasn't nothing like that was just terrible. All I'm saying is, man, look, we got to be careful about judging other people and looking at other people and what they're doing and coming to these decisions. You know, like, oh man, based on this, you know, this means that this person is not good enough. Like, nah, bro, that ain't it, man. That ain't it. That ain't it. We don't need to be sitting up here trying to. I just feel like when people be doing stuff like that, I just feel like they judgmental people. You got to be careful with that because that kind of puts the microscope on you, and I don't want to do that. And I'm not, like I said, guys make mistakes. They make mistakes. Women make mistakes. Human beings make mistakes. And if you have not, just keep living. Back to the Black and Gold says, we have a very good problem. We are deep at too many positions when it comes time to trim down. Heads are going to roll. I think we good with the roster we got at full strength. Yeah, we're more than good. Yeah, I like what Dennis Allen did. He brought a lot of people in to make the team competitive. And there are going to be some guys that are not going to make the team. They're probably going to end up playing somewhere else and being productive, which I have no problem with. Saints be good without Sean. Yeah, I mean, hope so. TJ, I'm with you about the Saints need to look at Kareem Hunt just in case. Yeah, me too. Paul keep topping himself with each comment. Look, man, I don't have no problem with anybody stating their opinion, but I just think that I'm not trying to be judgmental. I ain't trying to be judgmental, and I just think that I'm not going to say this dude need to get traded, a valuable player, because he made a mistake that that to me, like it's not. I mean, unfortunately, you know what I'm saying, the dude, you know what I'm saying, the dude ended up getting beat up. But like I said, man, people make mistakes. People make mistakes, and I'm not trying to, I'm not trying to define somebody about a bad decision. But yeah, go follow TJ. Let's see. Miss Cleo was a game changer back in the day. Can read your future over the phone for real. LSU smoked that boy. I mean, look, man, dude he was young, man. That's Jamar Chase. So, I mean, we seen Jamar Chase like smoke Jalen Ramsey, who is arguably the best cornerback in football right now. So, I mean, sometimes you got to look at it that way. I mean, the dude is special. Sometimes you go up against guys, and no matter how good you are, they got your number because they're special. TJ, going to my first game against San Francisco. I can't wait. Who that? Well, Saints Nola, hope you have a good time, and happy to hear that, man. Hope you is everything that you want it to be. Some fans are so delusional, even some of our Saints fans. Yeah, I agree. I don't think it's just for other teams. I think it's some Saints fans out here. I just think that Saints fans, sometimes we can be a little bit emotional. Sometimes we don't look at things logically. Uh, you know, everybody, what I'm saying, like everybody has an opinion. I don't think that, look, I just think that at the end of the day, it's all opinion. What I'm saying right now is my opinion. What you're putting in the chat and comments, that's your opinion. I mean, unless you can like prove, what I'm saying, like actually 100% prove it and it's, what I'm saying, irrefutable, then it's all opinion. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you're talking about 2+2 or what I'm saying, like 3+3 or something like that. 2+2 is always going to be equal to 4, and 3+3 always going to be equal to 6. No matter how you slice it or cut it, you know what I'm saying? That's just the way that it is. But when we're talking about what we think players are, who they're better than, I mean, all of that stuff is just basically opinion. Now, we can add some stats to it and all that kind of stuff there to try to validate it, of course, and it'll make your opinion a little bit more, believable. But at the end of the day, all of our, thoughts are kind of just, opinionated thoughts when it comes to sports. And if you combine that with the passion we have, like we want it to be true. Saints fans only talk about NFC South. The Saints have to play other teams, right? Saints need to be ready for everyone. Yeah, but the thing about it, Saints for life. I think when people talk about the NFC South, they talk about their division, and if you can actually win your division, there's a chance for you to be able to make the playoffs. But I definitely agree with what you said. They gotta play other teams, and we should take that into account. And of course, as the season starts to get closer, we'll start talking about some of those matchups with the Saints. And of course, you already know, when those games come, we'll break them down. And we'll see. Because I mean, at the end of the day, Saint for life, nobody really knows anything. Like we're all speculating right now. The teams that the New Orleans Saints have to play, we don't know how good those teams are actually going to be going into the season. We don't know how bad they're going to be. So I guess like as time go on, we'll talk about it, and we'll address that. But what we know is, and what we have to monitor most is what's going on in the division. Because if you win your division, you make the playoffs, right? And beating your division foes is key. I mean, you play those guys twice, and the more times you beat those teams, the better your chances are to make the postseason. Bucks need better running back, play better. That's our problem. Plus, pass defense. Well, hopefully they can get it together. Ty Bowles, to me, he's a good defensive mind. It's going to be interesting to see him and Dennis Allen, guys that were defensive coordinators, now head coaches, and how they're going to be able to adapt and how their coaching staff that they put around them are going to be able to help their secondaries and help their defenses to be on standard at the standard that they had those defenses the last couple of years. So Paul Edwards pulling takeout of his OG, we need you. It's not a bot, but it's a something going on in the chat. The Saints fans keep it 100. Some of them, like they all up. uh, okay, are we all dumb? Alvin Kamara had a whole tailback room out with COVID-19 from the strip club. Come on, man. Well, that's a good point. That's a good point. Uh, that is a good point, but I don't think anybody will want this dude to be traded because of that. You know, and at this particular time, Paul, I'm just asking you, man. I'm just wondering. I'm just wondering, okay? Because do you just not like Alvin Kamara, or are you just trying to stir the pot? I mean, because there is no like this to me. It's like saying, okay, this like Russell Wilson or something like that, like did something, or I'm trying to think about like a player like showing up late or something like that. Like it's like equivalent to that in my opinion. Like people make bad decisions, but it's not warranted to a point where this dude just needs to be traded. Okay. And I respect that you're like, resting on, you know what I'm saying, like in morals and stuff like that. Like, okay, that's fine. But like, is it like something that you have against the dude? Like, do you think he's not that good? Or you're saying nobody's better than his team, but this dude is like one of the most productive players in NFL. Like he's one of the most productive offensive weapons on the team. Like there's been times where the Saints have been down in games. He is taking over games. I mean, he's a special athlete with great talent. And do you feel like he's like killing the team or something? I mean, I just don't know. I mean, I don't get it. I mean, I get what he's saying. Like, I mean, he's making some valid points, right? You know what I'm saying? He brought up the whole COVID situation. Yes, that did hurt the team. But did it really hurt the team? I mean, I think the Saints were actually going into the playoffs or something like that. I mean, I don't think nobody was gonna play. They weren't even playing their starters in that game, if I'm not mistaken, anyway. So, I mean, I guess it didn't hurt them. It could have. But I don't know, man. You got to ask this question: like, do you just not like Alvin Kamara, or just are we just being a contrarian today? Like, we just want to hate everything? Yeah, this is the first time I've heard of him getting into trouble since he's been in the NFL. Dennis is making competition. This is great for us. Prove it, Paul. Mike T needs to get healthy and prove himself again. I agree with that. I just wrote an article with the Who That Dish that's coming out. I want to say Sunday about Michael Thomas. So be on the lookout for that. Paul, we were all going crazy going during the pandemic. Okay, cut him some slack. TJ, what do you think about the tight end JP Holtz and Brandon Dillon? I don't see them making the team, maybe the practice squad. Yeah, man, I'm not really impressed by any of those guys. JP Holtz, I mean, I watched him play. He played for the Bears. I mean, look, you never know. You never know, but I don't think none of these guys gonna be all pro tight end. I don't think neither one of them are the second coming of Rob Gronkowski or George Kittle or Kelsey. I just think they some camp bodies, which you need. You know what I'm saying? You never know. Maybe these guys give you something that you feel that they feel is missing in a tight end room. So, if they can go in and make things happen, why not? Get traded. This is nonsense. Yeah, I don't know. That dude is like one of the most important players. He's like one of the most important players in the National Football League, not just on the Saints. Paul stated he's a pastor, but his judgments make men of God look bad and feed into narratives people have about them. Yeah, I mean, look, I ain't trying. I'm not in the business of judging people. I don't think we should judge individuals. I think people just make bad decisions. I just think that that's what happened. I don't think that it defines him as a person. I don't think that it warrants him get kicked off the team. You know, I mean, he should serve a suspension because I mean, you gotta make better choices. You know what I'm saying? So it should be like some type of some type of ramifications or something. You know what I'm saying? Something needs to happen. You know what I'm saying? Like you know what I'm saying? Like there should be something that happened to him, but like getting kicked off your team and all that kind of stuff there, nah, man, I'm not down with that. I'm gonna scroll down a little bit. Um, the cool man says, "I'm tired of people acting like athlete entertainers and so on aren't human. It's crazy. They go to the bathroom and wipe just like you. Period. Yeah, Kamara gonna come back from suspension and gonna ball out. I agree. Talk to that man and keep it moving. It ain't like it's specifically egregious stuff. And let me see, he's doing back to back 2 occasions. This and the COVID thing. Other than that, nothing. He can grow. Chill. Look, man. I mean, I don't know, man. With that COVID thing, man. I mean, how anything that can happen with that. You know what I'm saying? As far as like guys couldn't even know. You know what I'm saying? Like might go out, might go to the facility, might stop at a gas station or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like anything, like and interact with somebody you don't even realize it. So I don't know, man. Like I wouldn't, I can't say, man, well, he needs to get cut because nah. No, I'm a 45-year-old black man that hates subpar actions in sports and life. Um, well, you must hate life because you know, man. There's this song since we talking about church. My grandfather normally would say this. My grandfather's a pastor. It's a song that says, "I'll never reach perfection, but Lord, I try." Right? So we all striving to be perfect. And the last person I ever heard that was perfect, well, there's two people in the Bible. One was Jesus Christ, and the other was Job. Okay. I mean, you start Job off, it says there was a man lived in the land of Uz named was Job. He was perfect and upright. He feared God and stayed away from evil. So those are only two people I know. Oh yeah, and we gotta put who was that? Who was man, I can't think of the guy's name, but he was so good that he didn't even die. He just ascended into heaven. I can't think of the guy's name. Uh somebody in the I want what was his guy's name? But he was just so perfect and never did anything wrong. He was so good, he just ascended to heaven. He didn't even die. It's in the book of Genesis. So somebody help me out with that. Some of my church going folk there. Uh I can't believe I don't remember this guy's name, how much my mom used to quiz me as a kid. But those are only three people that I ever heard were perfect. So there's nobody in this world perfect, okay? And if we just so happen to be wrapped up in our fate, we're all sinners saved by grace, okay? For all my church going people out there, okay? You know, Jesus died on the cross for us to have life, you know what I'm saying, and have it abundantly. So we all have sin and come short. We all make mistakes. That's just the way that it is. Period. Okay. So sitting up there saying you did this, you did that, you did that, it's not going to really benefit anything. So TJ need to open a phone line so we can hear you out. Man, I ain't gonna do no I ain't gonna take no calls this time. Probably do it on my next show. Um, yeah, I'll probably take some calls on the next show. See what you all have to say. Yeah, thank you, Enoch. Thank you, Paul. I really do appreciate that. Yes, it was Enoch. Uh, nah, it wasn't Elijah, man. It was not Elijah. That I do know. Elijah and Enoch ascended. Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. Elijah did ascend into heaven, but yeah, that is true. All right. Moses did not. No, Moses did not ascend into heaven. Moses, when he got into the land of Canaan, the land of milk and honey, he passed the baton, so to speak, to Aaron, and he just walked. You know what I'm saying? He just wandered dirt until he died. So yeah, that's what happened. But yes, Enoch, thank y'all very much for those all my Christian soldiers out there. My top 5 running back, I would like to trade for Hunt, Jacob, Barkley, Johnson, Drake. Your thoughts, TJ? I say who did you? I say Kareem Hunt, man. Like that's the only person. That's the only person that I feel like has that same similar skill set that give you some like the same type of production that Alvin can. Because I have a lot of faith in the guy. Different perfect TJ. Job perfect was based off his faithfulness of God goodness. Let me see. Jesus, the promised Messiah, perfection is based off of him walking the law perfect sacrifice. Different perfect. Well, I won't get into like the whole, the Bible thing on here, but I mean all I know is they said he was perfect. He feared God and he stayed away from evil. Okay, so and also, in the book, it also talks about him trusting God and, saying not cursing God when the devil had a conversation with God saying that you doing all these things that's good for him. Of course, his life is perfect, so he gonna be perfect. So take that heads that you have away from him, and he gonna definitely curse you and die. And he did. Okay, so yeah, but look, yeah, I do definitely agree. There's 2 different levels of perfect with that. I do agree with that. But we'll talk about that another day. Yes, Hunt is the best of the litter. Whoa, Paul, wait a minute now. Wait a minute. Okay, so man, so you okay with the Saints possibly traded for Kareem Hunt being the best of the litter? Kareem Hunt is only with the Cleveland Browns because on tape he slapped around a woman on tape, punched her in the face. So yeah, he the best of the litter, but Alvin Kamara, goes out, gets COVID, get in a fight in Las Vegas. It's the same thing, man. It's the same thing. So, and honestly, no, it's not the same thing. So we supposed to be protecting women. We supposed to be talking about assault. These are your words. You said assault. You said and throwing things like that. You know what I'm saying? Tells what a person is, and it shouldn't have no room for that. We shouldn't have no room for that. So how is it that okay? You know what I'm saying? You okay with Kareem Hunt? Yeah, he good. He's straight. What Kareem Hunt did was worse. What Kareem Hunt did was worse. So, and the thing about it is, we mentioned that Kareem Hunt, you don't want anything to do with him based on that level of logic, Paul. I'm not trying to get on you. I'm just saying, if we're talking about moral compass, right? The person that you should have brought up was Saquon Barkley, based on and some of those other guys. So he shouldn't even be in the thought pattern. If we talking about talent, moral compass, because honestly, talent is not a deciding factor here, because in that case, we wouldn't even be discussing Kareem. I mean, we shouldn't even be discussing Alvin Kamara at all when it comes to that. So I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I'm just messing with you, Paul. Let's see. Those who without sin cast the first stone. Paul then crapped the bed with the Kareem Hunt comment. Now you heard me. Slim South, T.I., you can have whatever you like. Let's see. He said he talking about his on field abilities, not off the field life. Okay. So you like his talent, but you won't want him on a team. Is that what you're saying? I'll give you a wiggle room. I'll give you wiggle room right there. And I'm assuming that you just worded that because you can navigate your way out of it. You know. Let's see. You think Mike T gonna trip if he isn't getting a lot of targets and Jarvis does, considering they are building chemistry right? Now, Mike might not be the number one option to start. Now, Mike is gonna be the number one option. He deserves to be the number one option. You know, and if he goes back to being who he is, he is the number one option. Okay. And I don't think Jarvis is. That's just my opinion. Trade for a running back like Hunt, sign Quan, sign Suh and JPP, we set to go. Paul, nobody perfect, bro. If Kamara gets 6 games, Watson better get 2 years. Well, they talk about him possibly getting a year. I'm so late, but I'm here. Who that, kings and queens? Appreciate you being here, Slim South. Contradictory statements everywhere. Barkley is damn good. I would trade for him if available. Yeah, he's one of my favorite guys. TJ, I think we should trade for Hunt, sign Quan. Oh, yeah, I read that already, Hoodie Jube. Yeah, those some good points right there, man. I wouldn't be mad at it. But Kareem Hunt is a guy that I feel like it gives you that same similar skill set. Those running backs on this list, they will won't be more money than we have. Well, it's not about money. It's about taking over the contracts. You know, like I said, Kareem Hunt, I mean, he's not making a bunch of money. The Saints would just take over the contract his final year with the Cleveland Browns. And if they don't sign him back, then he put enough on tape. He can, basically sell himself to the highest bidder. You know what I'm saying? He can get a big time deal. So everybody know he's talented. I just think that he just needs to show it. And sometimes you got to make people remember. So that's how I feel about that. If you can get a guy like that on the final year of his deal, I mean, it's quid pro quo up in this thing. You know what I'm saying? You scratch my back, I scratch yours. You go out there, you be productive because we need you to be productive. And, and then, what I'm saying, that puts you in a different tax bracket. I mean, we already know that. TJ, what you think about CJ going to Johnson contract going to look like? I don't know, man. Probably, I think they probably give him like a 5-year deal, 5 years, 75 million or something like that. He deserves it, man. I mean, he's a safety, but he plays nickel. You can't really pay him like a Lattimore or a Jair or a Slade. You know what I'm saying? Like a guy like that. But nickel corners are just as important. I think that you might end up having a situation like Jimmy Graham, where he was a tight end. He wanted to get paid like a receiver. He's a safety, but he want to get paid like a nickel. So my advice is to look at one of the top nickel corners in the National Football League and see where his number is. And that's probably what CJ Gardner-Johnson going to be asking for. So I'll say about $75 million. He definitely deserves it. I think that CJ Gardner-Johnson, to me, is one of the most important players on his team. I mean, that's just the way I feel about it. TJ, what is the likelihood the Saints sign Ndamukong Suh? I don't know what the likelihood is, but I think it's a possibility. Nothing's off the table, in my opinion, looking at this modern day Saints. You know what I'm saying? This new coaching, this new regime. Like I think everything on the table. It wouldn't surprise me one bit if they don't try to get him. Saints may not be able to keep CJ Gardner-Johnson. You can't pay everyone. Oh yeah, okay. I don't think it's a coincidence that they let Marcus Williams go. Like I said this before. I said if I like Marcus Williams, I said, but if it came down to paying Marcus Williams or CJ Gardner-Johnson, I'm rolling with CJ Gardner-Johnson. And they are they're gonna pay this dude. They're gonna pay him. Like there's not a doubt in my mind that they are not gonna pay this dude. Like that will be like it will be shocking. Like it didn't surprise me that much that they didn't pay Marcus Williams. It was more like I wanted them to because I like the guy. But CJ Gardner-Johnson is one of the most important New Orleans Saints that you have on that team. He that important. He is that important. And you pay guys like that. I mean, it would shock the heck out of me if they don't pay this dude. He gonna get paid. It's just a matter of when. I think we already good at defensive line. I think we should see what the D line squad could do. I agree, man. I just think that we rather prefer somebody with a little bit of a name, some cachet, that can come in that we recognize. But I mean, this committee that they have, man, they're getting the job done. How many 100-yard rushes they had in the last 3 seasons? Like one, two. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to say two, and both of them just so happen to be Eagles games. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's pretty impressive when you think about it. I think we already read that. Kevin says, "Do you think the Saints tried to trade back in the third round for Cook, running back? Wouldn't surprise me. You know, it wouldn't surprise me if they did. But I just think that the Saints felt they were okay. You know what I'm saying? And um, I think that I mean, this dude is going to be an impressive player. I can tell you that. The one he played for Buffalo, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, they got themselves a gem with him. I honestly don't think we signed Suh. He was on NFL talking about teams having the cap space for him, meaning he wants money. I mean, that's what Suh always wanted. You know what I'm saying? Like Suh, I say that Ndamukong Suh is a football mercenary. He sells himself to the highest bidder. It's all about location and money for him. So the next team I look at him going to is the Raiders. Seriously, I feel like he'll play for the Raiders. I mean, think about it, man. Think about it. Okay, he went to Miami, big destination spot, right? How many times have you vacationed in Miami? Then he went to Los Angeles. How many times have you vacationed in Los Angeles? I mean, that sounds very attractive. Then he went to Tampa. Come on, man, Tampa, you're on the beach, right? Back to Florida. So based on Ndamukong Suh, uh, he likes like mainstream cities. So I can see, like, I think the next team he's gonna play for is gonna be the Raiders because of Vegas. You know, I mean, he's a football mercenary to me. Is everyone else has as sick of Paul as I am? Saints are really need to upgrade the old line. They can't protect Winston if they played like they did last season. I agree. Yeah, but they got some guys that's coming in, and I don't know. Somebody I have to check. You know, if they sign Celio Calamente or not. I ain't hear nothing. So they do have some guys. You know what I'm saying, that they're trying to bring in to try to compete on that offensive line, and hopefully these guys can stay healthy, man. Because I mean, it's hard to have a functional offensive line when guys are out of lineup. I mean, you got to be on the same page, and you got to trust the guy that's next to you. Yes, CJ Gardner-Johnson is far better than Marcus Williams. He didn't cost the Saints games with bad play and games with big playoff games. To be honest, neither did Marcus Williams. I mean, we talk about that missed tackle, but man, the Saints wouldn't even be in that game if it wasn't for that dude catching that interception. And man, look, I can't say who's better because they're so different, and both of them like bring something to a defense that's valuable. Marcus Williams, who has become a much better tackler, is a ball hawk, right? So if you need a play and you need the ball back, that's somebody that can get you the ball back. You know what I'm saying? And he can cover the field. Like if you look at some of the plays that Marcus Williams made covering the field, I remember that one play, I want to say it was a couple of years ago, they played the Texans. This dude covered like 20 yards of field to come clean across the field to catch an interception. I mean, so he was, he's a ball hawk. And then you have, CJ Gardner-Johnson, a guy that you can line up, you know what I'm saying, almost, like an extra linebacker. You know what I'm saying? You got a guy that can cover tight ends and running backs. And you got a guy that can, that brings the energy. So they're two different players to me. Like it's hard to compare them because they both do things that teams need their defensive players to do. And like it's almost like pick your poison. Like, what would you rather prefer? So I can't say that one is better than the other. I think they both are really good, and I think regardless, the Saints are going to miss Marcus Williams, and if CJ Gardner-Johnson was to leave, they'll miss him as well. Do you think Alontae Taylor can be better than Adebo? No, I do not. I think Paulson Adebo is a very good cornerback. I think that he's going to be better this year than he was last year. I think that Alontae Taylor is going to fit really well in the Saints defense. I think that he's a good player. I think that he's a smart guy. I think that he has great leadership qualities. But I just think that people are minimizing Paulson Adebo, justifiably so. I mean, when you have a shutdown, lockdown corner like Lattimore on one side, if the other guy isn't doing or being a mirror of what the one guy that's a special player and Lattimore is doing, then we start to wonder, like, man, what's wrong with him? But, guys that can be able to neutralize the best wide receiver on everybody's team is hard to find. But that doesn't mean a guy like Paulson Adebo is not a spot for him. And if you notice, like the last couple of games of the season, I say the last 3 or 4 games, Paulson Adebo was locking guys down. Okay. And he finished the season on a high note. I would have been interested to see how he was going to be going into the playoffs, because if that Falcon game was any indication of what was to come, if the 49ers, if the Rams would have beat the 49ers, who knows? Okay? Who knows? Better wake up and remember who you are, because they know too. Know where you are, because the ops have you thinking, believing that this planet is called Earth. I don't know exactly what's going on here. I don't know if these some rap lyrics or TJ, I heard running back Taylor from Baylor hasn't signed yet. Is that true? If so, how concerning is it? He'll be very impressive in OTAs. They'll get it done. I'm not concerned about it. I mean, agents' job is to make sure that they do what's best for their clients. So try to get them the best deal. We need a good conversation. I hate to talk to people you have to agree with to get along. It's just not healthy. Yes, I definitely agree with that, Paul. I definitely agree that, you don't have to, you shouldn't have to agree with people to get along. However, I do have a problem with individuals, and I'm not saying it's you, but I do have a problem with individuals that want to stand out, that want to go against the grain. It's not really their real true opinions or thoughts about things, but they rather just say things because they want to be different. You see that a lot. They know, like, okay, this may be right. And the majority of the people like, hey, you know what? Yeah, it's good. But I'm going to say something completely different, and I'm going to have a completely different approach, just for the simple fact of having a completely different approach. And then they'll say stuff like, well, I'm just different. Well, you're not different. Like, it's not genuine. It's basically like, you trying to be a bad guy wrestler or something like that. You going out there and just, what I'm saying? You just so happen to be in New Orleans. Man, well, I walked up into the Smoothie King Center, and all I could smell is crap, and I realized it was coming from these fans. Boo! You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Like, we got too many of that going on. Like, that's what I really don't like about being on social media. You got people that just say stuff just to be saying it. Like, everybody else agreeing with it, sound right, it should be right, shouldn't be disputed, but I'm just gonna come through with a completely different take. And you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna rattle a cage, and I'm gonna chunk it up to being a free thinker. Like, I got a problem with that. Like, sometimes you gotta just call a spade at times, and everything ain't just worth having a debate about. TJ said that he drafted Alontae Taylor for safety position, not to be a corner. Think Taylor and Smoke Monday will make the team because of the dog mentality and aggressiveness, special teams at the least. Well, it may be, but that's not what Alontae Taylor feels. And they've been having him playing corner out there. They ain't been having him play safety. So I don't know how that's going to pan out, to be honest with you. So maybe they probably have him doing something similar to what CJ Gardner-Johnson does, a little safety, a little corner as well. But some of those packages and some of the things that have been going on in practice, he's been playing like mostly nickel. And you know, he been looking better than Bradley Roby doing it, to be honest with you. TJ hit it right on the head with that comparison of contrarian people wrestling heels. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That like that's what it is. Like you see like a whole bunch of people, agreeing, and I'm just gonna be different. I'm just gonna go against the grain. Like I'm just gonna stand out. And then I'm gonna fight everybody, you know what I'm saying, like with this take. Right. And then if they push me in the back of the corner, I'm gonna move the goalpost. And then then I'll chunk it up to me just being a free thinker. Like, nah. This chat don't get along all the time, but we still family. Yeah. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of things I disagree with what people saying. It's not just y'all know me, you know what I'm saying? I make people mad every now and then because some of the things that I may say, but I don't care, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's about opinions. It's all opinion. It's not, like I just think that I'm the most correct person. I don't think anybody needs to approach themselves like that. Bradley Roby is done next season. I think he's done this season, to be honest with you, Mocha. I think the Saints might end up trading him. I would. Do you think I have a confidence in our developing staff to turn these boys to some quality players? Me too. I mean, if you look at what they did over the last few years, I mean, you have to be pretty confident about that. You have to be. You have to be. Devon Zigbo is a diamond in the rough. I hope he gets a fair chance to be a starter. I agree. Like Paul's in the Debo. Devon Zigbo. Devon Zigbo only didn't make the team. It was because the Saints were kind of packed. I mean, he played really well the preseason of his rookie season. Like he had some games where, he looked like like a really good running back that you can do some stuff with. So if he comes in, he can replicate that. I think they might make the team. And also, you've been in the league for quite some time, so probably didn't slow down for you with the experience that you had in some of the games that you played with the Jaguars. Doesn't look like they're going to have enough roster space for Spoke Monday, possibly practice squad for a year till he proves he can make the team with the chance to get elevated if someone gets hurt. Yeah, I agree. I just think that people want him to make the team because of his personality, which I understand. You know what I'm saying? You want that guy with that dog mentality and guys that are sure of themselves, but it's only so many roster spots you can give out. This also describes people who grow up surrounded by Saints fans in a NOLA and decide to be Cowboys, Eagles, or Packers fans just to stick out. Yeah, there's a lot of situations like that. A lot of people like to roll with teams that they feel like are more successful. Then you got people that just, like you said, just go for those teams because they know that it make them look different. Look, I just think that you can fake the funk all you want to, but eventually people gonna realize that you smell bad. Okay, I mean, if it ain't your real genuine opinions or thoughts or views, it's only a matter of time before you get exposed. I think, like I said, I just think that shock value when it comes to commentary, when it comes to like being on social media, I just think that people battle with self-esteem. You know what I'm saying? They battle with this knowledge of self and who they actually are and what they want to be. And I think a lot of people, they want to stand out. They want people to notice them. And they may notice that by portraying a certain character or doing a certain thing might get them the attention that they seek. I don't feel like that's the right way to go. And I think it's a matter of time before you get exposed. I just think that people just need to be genuine themselves. Like who even if you consider yourself boring, like some people are like, man, I feel like I'm boring. I mean, to you, you know what I'm saying? But that don't mean that people may consider you that way. Oh, I don't feel like I have enough energy. I don't feel like I have enough confidence. Those are all things we work on. I don't care, like the most positive person you can see, you know, might deal with that. I deal with it. You know what I'm saying? I deal with confidence issues. As a kid, man, I always battled with confidence issues. I always, wanted to like people to notice me. I wasn't the most popular person in the world, but it took me some time to realize that, hell, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm me. I love who I am. And I'm not going anywhere. I gotta live with me as long as God has me above ground. So, what am I gonna do about it? I think I did all right for myself. Got a beautiful wife, a handsome son. You know what I'm saying? Family still love me. So it's not always about what people think. You know what I'm saying? It's about what you think about yourself first. And no matter how good you think people are doing, people are still dealing with same situations as you. And we shouldn't look for social media and we shouldn't look for social commentary to define us or tell us what we should or shouldn't be doing, right? Or what life we need to have. Because when you look at it, man, you think about it like, you might say, damn, you know what I'm saying? My life is pretty good, right? Might not have everything I feel like I should have at this time, but it's coming. Hey, TJ, you think the defense can be top five? If so, where at? Yeah, I think they can be a top five defense if everybody stays healthy. If I think they can. Let's see. We shall see, but I doubt he make it. Probably just a camp body. Yeah, you talking about the Smoke Monday guy, right? Mario Davis got a contract extension. Well, if that's the case, he deserves it. If anybody deserves to play for the Saints for the rest of their career, I want Demario Davis around after. It won't surprise me if Demario Davis end up being like a positions coach or something like that when he retires. Miss Barbara Williams, you're not by yourself. I still love the Dome Patrol. They was so awesome back in the day. Yeah, I mean Dome Patrol definitely. Those guys are legends. Best linebacker group of all time. And I don't even think that's a dispute. Ain't even nothing to dispute. State of the Saints podcast dropped on a Friday afternoon. Hit different when you work from home. Thank you, brother. Yeah, I'm actually working from home today myself. Man, it's been, my wife, she's out the country. She's been gone since Monday. And man, full-time father duty, man. So I had to take my son to the dentist yesterday. And I just like, man, I'm gonna just work from home today. He's at daycare. I gotta pick him up soon. And I was like, man, I'm gonna try to get some things done. So definitely working from home, man, it makes things much easier. I know Kevin White better not be on the team this season. I think he will be. But on special teams. And if you look at it, I'm not gonna hate on Kevin White and say like if you go back and yes, when it comes to like his football career as a wide receiver, you have to just chunk it up and say it has not been good. But as far as him being like a gunner, he was pretty good for the Saints. Like seriously, he like go back and watch a few of them games. You can see Kevin White running down the field, like what I'm saying, down in points, close at the 3. Yeah, I mean, there's a spot for him on his team, man, on special teams. So if he can make it on special teams, I wouldn't be mad at that. It's not surprising to me that he's still on the team because he plays so well on special teams. I mean, I'm just saying, like being a starter, no sir. Okay, but go watch him on special teams. Go watch him on special teams, and you'll see, man, like why he's still there. And I'm pretty sure if everything goes right, he's going to be on special teams as a gunner. Stephen A. act like he didn't like nobody in the NBA draft last night. That's because Stephen A. Smith is a character. Okay, everybody knows it. Look, it's the same shtick every year. You know what I'm saying? Like the NBA draft, he gonna get upset that the Knicks didn't get the first pick in the draft, and whoever the Knicks get, he gonna be upset about it. I mean, if the Dallas Cowboys lose, he gonna come out there with their 10-gallon hat on and a cigar. Like, I don't know, man. It's the same old thing. Like, look, Stephen A. Smith is a character. I mean, he's just a character you play on TV. That people like you seen what he did. Like Stephen A. Smith is a clown. You know, I'm just being serious. Like I lost a lot of respect for Stephen A. Smith. Look, heck, I have no interest in working for ESPN in Bristol no time soon, so I don't care. I lost a lot of respect for Stephen A. Smith. Number one, because of what he did to Max Kellerman. Max Kellerman seemed like he was getting more attention and people was respecting him more. So he ended up like getting Matt Kellerman kicked off First Take. Then he went on JJ Redick show and lied about Skip Bayless, which I'm not really the biggest Skip Bayless fan in the world, but basically just lied and said like somebody just need him. I just think that Stephen A. Smith has a false sense of reality when it comes to like who he actually is. Like, dude, he's a great basketball mind, but he's not very knowledgeable of other sports, which was one of the main reasons why, like, when most of the time when the NFL season rolls around, they have like a host of panelists to try to cover up for his imperfections. And I don't know, man. I just lose a lot of respect for people like that. Like, dude just comes off as, somebody that's just super arrogant and, just not a fan, right? And I feel like he would do or say anything to elevate himself and make money. So, I mean, he is who he is, man. I personally think we're set. Let's just go out there and ball out. I agree. Stephen A. Smith is a performer, period. Exactly. Pelicans put in work both rounds and undrafted free agent last night. Nola Sports about, they did a good job, man. I like Dyson Daniels, the Australian kid. Good passer of the basketball, man. Fundamentally sound, good defensive player. He's not one of those guys to me. I don't look for him to like be going off of 50 or nothing like that. But I think that if you're trying to, if anything, the Pelicans gonna have one of the best defenses. Like when it comes to like Alvarado, and then you add Dyson Daniels, and then you got Jones out there. You know what I'm saying? Like Herbert, you know what I'm saying? Like you think about all those different guys, they're really good defensive players. So, and then you have McCollum, and like they gonna be there, man. They gonna make some noise in the postseason. I think that the Pelicans could possibly be that next team that builds that team, and they end up like being like really, really good. I mean, they got the right coach. They got the right coach. Zion comes back. If he gets himself in shape, McCollum wants to be there. He's a star. You know what I'm saying? People giving him the respect. You know what I'm saying? He's doing the right things. He knows how it is, man. You show New Orleans love, they show it back. And then you got Brandon Ingram. So, yeah, they're going to make some noise, man. They're going to make some noise. I recall Stephen A. Walked out in a cowboy hat and Brees jersey and trolled Cowboy fans in Dallas the day of our game versus Dallas 18. Dude is a performer and nothing more. Yeah. I mean, Eugene, you're right. Kevin White is awful wide out. Yeah, he is. He's not what you want in a wide out, but I think he's pretty good on special team. What you think of the tight end core? Haven't heard much about those guys. I don't know what to think right now, Henry, to be honest. I don't know what to think. I'd rather just go to camp and see. Hopefully you have guys like Troutman can take a step forward. Lucas Kroll heard positive things. The undrafted rookie out of Pittsburgh heard some positive things, but you was going up against guys that are rookies too. Let's see what you can do with some of these veterans. JP Holtz, you got from the Bears, big body guy. Juwan Johnson wasn't around for OTA's minicamp. He was dealing with injuries. Then you got Taysom Hill. He wasn't there. He had that Liz Frank surgery, so he was healing from that. So there's some guys that can make it interesting, but got to see. Daniels is like Ben Simmons, except he's not afraid to shoot when he has it. Thank you again for the draft pick, Lakers. So yeah, Dyson Daniels, he's a distributor of the ball. What he's like, if I'm not mistaken, like 6'8", 200 pounds. To me, he still needs to put a little bit more muscle on, which he did a good job. He's like he got a little bit bigger than what he originally was, but he's a guy that's going to be a good defensive player. He has really good defensive skill, which most of those Aussie guys do. By Aussie, I mean Australian players. Most of them are really good defensive players, and they always fundamentally sound with like good distributors of the ball. So that's the way I feel about it. I think that he's going to be a good defensive player starting out. Cooper tells a lot of behind the scenes stories about the Saints and other players around the NFL. Go check it out. I promise y'all you will like it. Leave the Saints. Okay. Ryan, make sure that y'all check out Believe in Saints. That's available on YouTube as well. Yeah, man. There's always room for more content and guys giving a different perspective about the team, right? I mean, that's what it's all about. If we trade for a tight end like Jonnu Williams, I freak for real. Well, I think that you have to see what you have in camp. And if it's not there, right, there's still opportunities where you can actually go out and try to make that position work. I hope Zion don't be like Charles Barkley, great talent, but can't stay healthy. Well, I hope so. But we'll see, man. We'll see. I think that people are frustrated. I'm not buying to what people are saying about the guy. I think the dude is young, and man, it is. This dude's supposed to be like on some type of LeBron James type level when this dude came in, right? I mean, he was the freak of nature. He was the big, big physical guy, and everybody just kind of anointed him as the future of the league. You coming into the league, you're 19, 20 years old, and it's hard. It's hard for guys to be at, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to sit up here and talk about this dude, man. I think that there's time for this dude to grow, and I think that he's going to be a really good player. As far as that stuff about him not wanting to be in New Orleans, I think that is more about what the national media wants versus what he actually wants. They like to stir the pot, man. They like to stir the pot, and they come up with these scenarios where that player's representation of hell. Even that player can be watching and be like, you know what? I think that might be a good idea. Maybe I need to pursue this trade. They like doing it. Man, today pies will forever be known as the podcast. I love the pod with Saints Twitter guys need to do more often. Yeah, man. Look, I enjoyed it too, man. I like those two brothers. I like Adam and Ryan. They do a really good job, man. They down to earth guys. I reached out to them, man, and asked them to be on the show because out of all the Saints podcasters out there, man, they're so influential and they work really hard, man. And it's about like opening up avenues for individuals. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of us out here, that doing podcasts, and that, we all have our loyal listeners and you know what I'm saying, viewers, other podcasts, and you may not know about everybody. So, getting guys on the show, you know what I'm saying, and introducing them to your audience and introducing introducing them to my audience and all that kind of. I mean, that's what it's about. It's about networking. And I know, it's sometimes people can get a little territorial, and it's like, oh man, I don't want to be on them. Take this away. Like, if you're that confident in yourself, if you feel like your show is the ish, if you feel like you the best, it don't matter. And then on top of that, you should be happy that somebody is out there working hard, trying to make themselves, you know what I'm saying, like, a strong podcast. And I know how hard that is, man. I mean, I started this show when it was nothing. It was just me, an idea, and and me talking and recording on my iPhone, and you know what I'm saying, and uploading it and putting slideshows together. I mean, so hey, SOTS, keep up the great work and don't sell out to ESPN. Man, you ain't got to worry about that. You ain't got to worry about that. Like, I won't look. I don't want to say never say never, but I'm definitely ain't selling out. And on top of that, I have no interest in being on TV. Like my mom and says, "Oh man, you could be on TV." I don't want to be on TV. I love being a broadcast. I like being behind the mic. Now, if ESPN Radio was the call, like if I can like work at ESPN in Baton Rouge or something, or ESPN New Orleans, or my dream would be work at WWL, I'm gonna do that. Like I'm sorry, like if I can get if somebody from WWL was to call me right now and be like, TJ wants you to work for WWL. Guess what? Guess what your boy doing? I'm down there. That would be a dream job for me. Like I've always wanted to work for WWL. Always. Okay. And honestly, I feel like they can do a little bit of a sprucing up, as my mom would say, a little sprucing up. I think that there's a lot of potential with WWL. I just think that it's a little boring, some of them shows. Okay. Little boring, put you to sleep. And I think they need a little bit more, a little shot in the arm. Not not everybody. Like I enjoy, Bobby. I enjoy Mike Detillier, guys like that. But yeah, if WWL, ESPN New Orleans, or ESPN Baton Rouge call your boy, guess what? Guess what? I'm working for him. But as far as working in Bristol or Stephen A. Smith calling me and saying like, TJ, I want you to Where we at? Hold on, wait a minute. It's been a while since I played this.
Hell no, to the no, hell to the no.
Yeah, man. So no sir. TJ, I respect you and Big Q a lot. Y'all the ones who help many other young YouTubers grow just like me. Also, I have other subs that came to me and said I motivated them to become a YouTuber and ask for advice. Well, yeah, man. That's what it's all about. It's about networking, working together. I don't care, man. Like Big Q, and I apologize for this. And Big Q, you watch, man. I'm definitely about to, roll up on this show. It's been absolutely crazy these last couple of weeks. Last week, my wife was doing everything, trying to prepare for a trip. This week she's on a trip. And I want to appear back on Big Q. So I'm definitely gonna be reaching out to him, try to get back on there. But man, jealousy is something that a lot of podcasters need to get rid of. Seriously. You know what I'm saying? And I always say what God has for you is for you. Like nobody can take your blessing away. Nobody can take your opportunity away. Man, they took my opportunity. That was supposed to be mine. No, man. Everything comes to you in due time. So I want, if I can help somebody along the way, if I can tell somebody how to get something that I was blessed enough to, be able to interact with a person to help them, man, I'm for it. Well, how that, man? That's how I'm. That's why I'm at where I'm at today. You know what I'm saying? Like we all need that, and that's how you grow, and that's how good things happen to you. All that hating and all that kind of stuff and arrogance, man, you need to leave that stuff at the door. If you that confident in yourself, shouldn't matter, right? And I don't know, man. That kind of stuff comes back to you. You know what I'm saying? Karma is a you know what. So you put that positive energy in the air, it's gonna come back to you. So always remember that. Like all the podcasts out there that's growing, that have grown, like help, help the next brother along. You know what I'm saying? Like whether you believe it or not, you're instilling a level of confidence in somebody when they're watching you. Like, man, y'all seen, you know what I'm saying? Y'all seen the deal. Like some of y'all been there from the beginning. I was not on camera. Wasn't on camera because I couldn't afford a webcam at the time. Seriously, I couldn't afford a webcam at the time. You know what I'm saying? I started off like recording on the voice memo on my iPhone and just taking little pictures that I got off the internet and doing slideshows with them. And now, you know what I'm saying? Like now the State of Saints podcast is one of the top Saints podcasts in the country. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not saying that to sound arrogant, but it just showed you hard work and persistence pays off. So remember that, man. And always be humble, no matter how many notches in your belt you get. Always remember that, man. There are people out there that they help you to get to where you are. ESPN Radio, thank you very much for the $2. Says if you're willing to discuss farts, you got the job. Well, nah, I'm not really on the fart jokes, but yeah, if ESPN New Orleans, ESPN Baton Rouge called me, your boy going. Shouts out to all the Saints channels. Yeah, man, that's what it's all about. It's about putting commentary out there. Bobby Bell be hating on Jameis Winston. Jameis is better than Abel was, and he was in his prime. I hear that a lot, man. I'm gonna be dead serious, man. I'm gonna call, like, I think they're on the air today. I think I might call WWL and I might ask that. Just to get him to clarify. Cause I don't see that, man. I don't see it. I just think that he's critical. I think he's critical at the quarterback position in general, because that's the position he played. And a lot of guys, whatever position they played, they're more critical, because I guess they know what they see, and they know what a quarterback should be doing. I don't think he a hater though. Hooded Jube, you in that same boat, brother. Positive and inspirational. Credit to the Who Dat Nation, like TJ Ross and Rev High Tide, lift all boats. Yeah. I mean, it's about growing, man. It's about helping other people. It's about being positive. We appreciate what you do, TJ. Don't sweat it if you can't make appearances. It's fun when you do. But we know you giving us a lot of your time for us, and to all come together with other diehard Saints fans. Yeah, like I want, like I said, I want to interact, and like I said, if I can't, what I'm saying, it's never like, oh, I don't feel like, what I'm saying, it's not important enough. Like I want to, what I'm saying, and sometimes, what I'm saying, to my wife's chagrin, what I'm saying, I try to do a lot of things, and sometimes I end up doing too much, and you got to kind of taper it down, because I'm always like, I'm always wanting to help people, and I'm always trying to do something. Like, I can't keep still. So I try. I think you're a great TJ. You keep it real, and that's how it should be. Plus, you ain't afraid to call out the team. Well, I mean, that's what it's all about. It's about, giving your honest opinion. TJ, Hooded, Drew, Reverend Ross, and Q are the GOATs. I agree, man. Those are some hardworking brothers right there. If I'm in a conversation, then I made it. You deserve it. You deserve it. You deserve it. That's not arrogant, man. I'm serious, man. I remember when I first started this podcast. And I watch people, what I'm saying, like like Ross and Deuce Winham and stuff like that. What I'm saying, T-Bob and all these other, what I'm saying, like, and that kind of stuff motivates you. It's like, okay, like, they doing their thing. I can do that too. And I say, man, that consistency, because I mean, starting a podcast, it can be a dark times, man. Especially like when you start looking at analytics and like, man, only you got these many people watching. Like, you got to be able to. I look at starting a podcast, and we about to wrap it up. But I look at podcasts, like, for those out there that might have been like trying to grow some dreads, or trying to grow, what I'm saying, your hair out. Like, there's gonna be an ugly stage that you go through, like, before you get to the results that you're looking for. Like, it's gonna be some ugly times. There's gonna be some times where you probably have to second guess yourself, and you're gonna feel like nobody listening to you, nobody paying that much attention to you. You feel like, why am I not, what I'm saying, like, making a certain level of progress? I feel. But you got to be able to, like, shake that kind of stuff off and realize what the ultimate goal is. And that is to give a service to people. Like, I started the podcast not because I wanted people to know who I was, and not because I wanted to make money. It was because I felt like I looked at some of the mainstream radio shows and stuff like that, and they didn't really give a voice to the people. Like, the host was always the loudest voice. And it's like as if the person never really mattered. So I never wanted to be like that. Like, I never wanted a show to be as the people don't matter. So even if I don't open up the phone lines, like, that's why, like, as long, I don't care if you donate, I don't care if you don't donate. I'm, what I'm saying, if I see it, and if it ain't strolling by too fast, I'll read your comments, because it's about people's opinions matter and their value. Okay. And I'm glad that you have other podcasts out here that's doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, like show people love. Like, like just because a person, gave you $5 don't mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, they should be the only ones read. Like, it ain't about, you know what I'm saying, a person's financial situation. It's about people having a voice. You know what I'm saying? The young, the old, you know what I'm saying? The more knowledgeable fans, the least not a lot knowledgeable fans. Like, everybody deserves a voice. That's what you should never feel. You should never feel more important than the people that made you who you are. Like, if you getting monetized, if you're getting donations, that's because of those people. You know what I'm saying? So you should never forget that. You should never like walk around like, man, I made it. It's nah, bro. Remember the people. No matter, you know what I'm saying? They're the ones that invest in you and believe in you to be like, man, I'm gonna invest this time and I'm gonna take the moments to listen to what they have to say about my favorite team. Do you think the Saints still have a shot at signing Suh? Yeah, as long as he's out there. They do. Remember that Zane song, Hey TJ. Been here since day one. Yeah, you have. You have, man. Hey TJ, keep playing that song all night. all night. I'm not the GOAT, Uncle Deuce. I'm like Jose Alvarado of the Pelicans, taking fans hard and embracing in the community, but not the GOAT to be a starter, GOAT status yet. Well, I mean, yeah, man, it's about, like I said, it is about being humble, man. Like, I still feel like there's, always room for improvement in my book. Let me see. We the Who That Nation are the ones that make you stronger every day. Basically, yeah, I agree. Like, I always remember that. Like I said, I mean, I think that's something that you always should remember. Especially you starting something. Grinding leads to words of mouth, leads to success, successful business models in any field. Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, that's not just a podcast lesson, that's a life lesson. We all speak the same language when it comes to our Saints and Pelicans or whatever. No, we don't. No, we don't. But our opinions are welcome, Jerry. We definitely don't speak the same language. Like, some of us, I don't know, man. Some of us be on planet Earth. Some of us be on planet Neptune or Jupiter or somewhere. Like, we some of us speak in Spanish, some of us speak in French, some of us speak in German. But at the same time, man, we all saying who that, right? So what's good, TJ? Been here since day one, too. Yeah. I mean, you got a lot of people that's been here for a long time. Even Breakers also. Yeah, man. Shouts out to the Breakers making the playoffs. Man, do you feel like we waited long enough for another bowl? Yeah. Heck yeah. Yes, we have. It's crazy because I be messing with people at the job and they know you can see it in their eyes and their body language that they know we're going to dominate. Yeah, they probably don't want to admit it. I'm hoping that they dominate. If everything goes the right way, they should be one of the best teams in the National Football League, no doubt about that. So, but I want to say thank you all for checking out the State of the Saints podcast. Really do appreciate your time. Those that have not already, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, which is youtube.com. Search the State of the Saints podcast. And I encourage you, if you have not already, to check out the State of the Saints podcast Facebook page. If you go to the channel page here on YouTube, if you're watching it, you click on the Facebook link. It'll bring you directly to the Facebook page. We got over 1,000 followers now, man. I felt really bummed out. Some of you probably heard this story already, but I felt really bummed out. I lost my old page. We had over 20,000 followers over there, man. So I'm basically starting over. But I'm enjoying the process again. I just ask for your support and, going ahead and following the page. And also previous episodes available on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Anchor FM. And you all make sure that you have a good Friday. If you're watching it, have a great weekend. Be safe out there. And like always, all I got to say is, who that?